All right, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing well. So the question on the thumbnail, can you ambush a monster? Obviously, I'm referring to Demetrius Andrade's style, where he likes to come forward early, get off to a fast start, ambush his opponents, and then get on his bike a little bit, and the work he's done early will hopefully carry him to the end. But can you do that against David, the Mexican monster, Benavidez? I don't think so. Let's talk about it.
Boxing.
Alright, shout out to all the subscribers. Thank you very much for tuning in. Peace and love. And anybody new locked in as well, gratitude to you. Thank you very much for taking the time to check my channel out. Let's talk about this fight, okay? Because it is a good fight. Obviously, we wanted to see Benavidez in maybe with Canelo or even David Morrell. Those were mouthwatering matchups. And Andrade is a very good fight. I think he's a little bit past it, perhaps. He's 35 years old. He hasn't stepped up to anything close to the likes of this. It's not always been his fault, because obviously he clearly has been ducked. And, you know, it's a shame for, like, you know, good, skillful, southpaw, awkward fighters to be blessed with what they're blessed with. But the other side of it is they get avoided. So it's not his fault. He did what he could to get those fights. They didn't materialize. Then he ended up having a good career where he was, I thought he was just so heavily favored in all of his bouts when he was with Eddie Hearn and DAZN. You know, they overpaid him quite a lot, and I think he just got comfortable with just beating guys and earning a good living being a prize fighter. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you know, that can bring out some levels that you're missing, you know, when you go from this to then the David Benavidez, and then all of a sudden you find yourself at 35 years old. If you look at his resume, it's pretty thin, really. I was trying to figure out who his best win was. You'd probably have to go back to Martirosyan, who had him over in the first round. I don't know if you remember that. I'll pull the clip up. Martirosyan had him over with a 1-2 swivel jab, and I think it was in the first round. That was a 154, and I didn't realize. I knew Boo Boo had been a world champion. I didn't know he was a multi-weight or two-weight world champion with multiple titles. You know, I think it was 3. I thought he just had 1 or 2 in the same weight category. So that's, I mean, I'm not surprised because he's very talented, but I forgot that he'd actually won another belt at middleweight. So fair play to him. Look, he's a talent. He's an awkward fighter. He's you can't teach his style, and I don't think he wants to be taught. You know, that I was watching the All Access, and was it from there where they were like, he just gets the textbook of boxing and just rips it up and throws it. And that's, you can tell, because he just fights the way he wants to fight. It's very hard to deal with because it is so unorthodox, and he's got this kind of rugged slickness about him. He's got some respectable power as well, and you know, that's going to be interesting to see if he can put a dent in Benavidez. Like I said, will he be able to, do you even want to ambush a monster? Can he do that? Will his game plan have changed because of who Benavidez is? And will he be conserving a bit more energy for the back end, knowing because of what Benavidez can do, and he's still going to be in the mix, and his will is what really defines Benavidez. He's a great fighter, but he's obviously, his punch selection is really good. He's got fast hands. He can counter punch, but it's his determination and will, and he's got a chin. And it's just like when you have just, I put him in the same bracket. Not quite the same, but you got the Benavidez and the Subriel Matias, just animals. You know, they're gonna fight you. They're gonna make you fight. They will find you and they'll make you fight, and they will take whatever you've got and they will keep coming, and they'll stick to a game plan. I put him right below those two guys, you know, very close, but just in terms of his mental fortitude is what, you know, Benavidez is a damn good fighter. And look, he's had a tough upbringing. You know, his dad was speaking about that. He was very, very strict, you could say, at the very least, to him and his sons. But look where it got them. You know, even by his own admission, he didn't sound proud of it. But he's had a hard, disciplined, militant upbringing. I'm not saying his dad was in the military. I'm just saying you can tell from just a hard look on their face. He's a tough dude. He's a tough dude. He is a tough dude. And Demetrius Andrade is going to be in very deep waters in this fight. I'm trying to look at this subjectively and understand how Andrade can win. I don't think he's going to be able to get Benavidez out of there. I don't think he's going to be able to do the ambush thing, even if he were to. But I wouldn't be surprised if he did do it and had a little bit of success, you know, because if Andrade comes out, he can be a nightmare for anybody. Anybody with athletic, southpaw, fast hands, you know, with a bit of pop can be successful. But what's the the price to pay later down the line? Because Benavidez is coming off his best performance, really, against Caleb Plant. Tremendous performance. I know he got soundly outboxed early on. I actually picked Benavidez to win by stoppage late, but it ended up going to the cards. You know, some people thought Plant could have got away with a draw. Maybe, but like if you're just scoring the fight, you can't argue with that. But Benavidez won that fight hands down, just in terms of the fight, the spirit, the action, how much he hurt. He hurt Plant badly in the 6th, I think it was. Plant with a body shot, and you know that's where the tide turned. And then he like Matthias, and I made a video. Anybody that didn't miss my breakdown for Matthias and Ergashev, I'll leave the link here. I was saying Matthias feeds off of fear. Benavidez does the same thing, and so does Benavidez. I know a lot of fighters do, but these guys are like on almost a sadistic level. You know, they really love it. They do. I remember he got cracked, Benavidez, with a shot from Darrell years ago, 2019, and you know it definitely buzzed him because he kind of did a little move like that, and he just smiled. He just smiled and kept walking, and he just got just a different mindset, you know, just an animalistic savageness. They feed off of fear. So Andrade's got to come with a just a ice cold game plan. You know, it's got to be perfect, really. Will he do the ambush thing? I don't think he will. I don't think he will. I think he's just going to try to bide his time and box where he can, try to outskill him, try to outmaneuver. Andrade likes to use lateral movement. One thing that I find interesting too, actually, where it might be a disadvantage for Andrade, he loves those uppercuts, right? Especially a lead hand uppercut, which is a very unusual punch to throw, but he's very accurate with it. He likes both hands with the uppercuts, but he'll just come looping forward like that with the lead uppercut. He's a little shorter than Benavidez, right? But he fights a little shorter because he crouches like this and he's doing this and he comes in, bang. Benavidez is very tall, right? He's 6'2", supposedly, on BoxRec. And so when the height disparity, uppercuts aren't necessarily going to be as easy to land because you're going to be missing that much of a distance for their chin. If you look at the Liam Williams fight, Liam Williams was perfect for Boo Boo because the height was right there. Williams had that high guard and he was just boom, coming straight with so many uppercuts. Benavidez does have a high guard also, but he's just that, like I said, he's much taller and he has that counter punching threat, which Williams really didn't. Liam Williams hurt Andrade. I think it was the 9th. Straight right hand, bang in the mouth, and he wobbled Boo Boo a little bit. He went back to the ropes a little bit, and he kind of his knees buckled a little bit. He didn't throw many punches after that, and he started holding. He got definitely rocked in that 9th round. But look, he's a warrior too. I don't know if he's as big of a warrior as Benavidez, but he's a tough fighter. He can hang in there. I think when you talk about toughness and warriors, there are levels to it, and that's why I put Benavidez right in there, right below what's his name, Artur Beterbiev, and then Subriel Matias. I'm sure there's plenty of others that belong close to that category as well. Benavidez does for me. Let me know what you think about this fight, because it is a good fight. I feel like there's a good buzz right now for boxing. We've got a little closing out section. Showtime's, you know, saying its goodbyes. They're squeezing some good fights in. You've got this Haney Prograde. I'm going to do a breakdown on that soon. I made a video about cutting the ring off, but I'm going to elaborate on that a little bit. That's on the 9th of December, isn't it? Yeah. Then, no, it's just exciting. I feel a little buzz right now. So, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the predictions. Shout out to anybody new, locked in, and that has been commenting. I really appreciate that. It's nice to chat with rational boxing fans, you know. I really appreciate it. But in terms of the fight, let's make a prediction. I don't think it's a question of whether... I mean, I'd be surprised if Andrade could pull it off, to be honest with you. I really would. To maintain his style of fighting, you know, because he lets his hands go dramatically in spots, and then he'll push and he'll use his last hand to like shove his opponent, which is very sneaky, very clever. And you can do that against Benavidez because he is a little bit tall and because his balance isn't always the best. I think he could have some success with that. You know, he's like, but again, the uppercuts might not be there. But with a high guard, round the side for sure. He's got to come around with those hooks like that. That's going to be an option. Get in there, get out there. He's got to be in the best shape of his life though, Boo-Boo. That's the only thing. At 35, how fresh are those legs? We're going to find out just how much he wants to win, because when the waters get deep, and they will get deep in, like, you know what, 8, 9, 10, and you know Andrade notoriously slows down. What's his, he's obviously savvy in the ring, but when he has a Mexican monster breathing down his neck, we'll find out just how savvy he is and how much he really wants to win, because those are going to be the rounds right there for me, whether it's going to be a Benavidez stoppage right there, round 10, or is Andrade going to just do enough to, you know, snake his way to a moral points loss, or is he going to try to win? Because that's what's interesting to me, because he's never been put in that position really where he's needed to. He's either been way up on the cards and had a little patch against Williams. I know it was a closer fight against Martirosyan and Jack Colquet back in the day, but I can't remember off the top of my head exactly how that fight went without watching it again, and I just didn't have time. But I know he got dropped, and I know he got dropped in his last fight as well. You think Benavidez isn't going to be able to hurt him? He's definitely going to be able to hurt him. I don't think Andrade is going to be able to hurt Benavidez like that, and I don't think he's going to be able to keep him off him, and I don't think he's going to be able to win 7 clear rounds boxing. Whoever wins after that, let's hope they can get the Canelo fight, and we can make that's a massive fight. Benavidez fights Canelo, and you know, we just end this magnificent 2023 year with a bang. I'm making a like a highlight reel with all the best moments from 2023. I haven't started it yet. I've got a lot of projects going on at the moment. Maybe I'll give myself too much work, but I'm excited for this one. This is going to be like a real highlight extravaganza. Knockouts, wins, losses, you know, captions, all of it. I'll try and do, you know, a full thing. But if we could get a good fight here, that'd be awesome. And then look, don't forget that undercard. That's an amazing undercard. And again, if you missed that, my breakdown for that, check out the link here. And you know, I appreciate it. If you really enjoyed the video, hit the like button. It's got to come from here. And if you're new, hit the subscribe button. I've got loads of videos coming. I'm out of here. Peace and love. Take care of yourself.